This is news from America's Heartland. You're watching Heartlander News. Welcome into Heartlander News. Hope you're doing well today. I'm Chris Stigall. Todd Blanche has been nominated by Donald Trump to be the next Attorney General. I think it's a sound pick. We wish, I think from the jump, that he had been the pick or someone else other than Pam Bondi had been the pick at Attorney General. But here we are. Speaking of President Trump yesterday, having a little fun. He was in a particularly good mood from the Oval, had the press come in. They discussed the Bidens for a while. You know, we've been talking this week about the Biden book tour. Jill Biden's been out there. I'd still love to see the sales numbers. I might have to look that up in a minute, see how old Jill's books are selling. I don't know if it might take a week to report. Anyway, President Trump was asked about Hunter Biden. Hunter potentially running in 2028. I guess people are floating this as a potential thing. Hunter Biden 2028. Here's how Trump answered that.
And he has suggested, maybe joking, I don't know, that he could run for president in 2028. How would he do, Hunter Biden, in a 2028 Democratic primary?
Well, you would think that, past has something to do with winning an election. And I would say his past is not the greatest. Where's Hunter? Remember my Where's Hunter? It became the #1 shirt anywhere in the world for about 3 weeks. I'm not going to say bad. I'm sure, hey, if the guy from Maine can do well, I guess Hunter could do well too, because the guy from Maine is a basket case. And I would say worse than him is the one from Texas that looks like Alfred E. Newman. I would say that if he can do well, maybe Hunter can do well. I'm not sure. It'll be pretty close as far as I'm concerned.
Trump having a little fun, taking a couple of bank shots while he's at it at Tallarico down there in Texas and Grand Platner. And then Trump was asked about Jill out there promoting her book, Dr. Jill. And here's how that went.
Is out promoting a new book this week. When you met with Joe Biden, President Joe Biden, right here in the Oval Office on November the 13th of 2024, could you detect any cognitive decline in President Biden at that time?
No, not really. I mean, he was the same guy I've been watching for a long time. I mean, you could go back 40 years. I watched him 40 years ago, 30 years ago. He's never the sharpest guy. You do know that, right? It wasn't like he was sharp as a tack. But no, it was the same guy. They actually invited me here before the election, which was strange. We went here before, but then I met also, as you know, we did the ritual. And I mean, he was fine as far as I was concerned. I don't know, something happened to him during the debate. It could have been me. I thought I had a very good debate. Nobody ever says that. They say that Biden did badly. What about me? Did I do well? There's a reason he did badly. So the question is, did he do badly because he choked or because he didn't have it? But he didn't have a good, I would say this, he did not have a good night.
But during that time period, you met with him for about 2 hours. You didn't feel he was...
No, he spoke softly, very softly. And as we started to speak, I mentioned this to people, we spoke very, very softly, very low. And as we talked, we got along really well, and I thought he was fine. When I say fine, I mean, was he like talking to Doug Burgum? Was he like talking to Chris? Was he like talking to any of these monsters up here, all these tremendous politicians and environmental geniuses? Was he like talking to Andy Barr? No, he was fine.
Was talking to Joe Biden like talking to smart people? No, but he was fine. The delightful backhanded compliment from Donald Trump. That's entertaining on a Friday. I don't know who you are if you can't laugh at that. Harry Enten, the vaudevillian over at CNN. How I love you. Ha-cha-cha-cha-cha. He's like the WB Frog, this guy. He gets more animated. He's got a shtick now. You've watched him if you go back and watch old tape, he has not ratcheted this up to a 10 until recently. But anyway, here he is. Give me number 23 here, Aaron. Talking about the Bidens and the American public. This is why I want to know the book sales for Jill. I can't imagine they're great. Old Harry's got the numbers on how the American people feel about the Bidens. after the fact.
American people have one message for the Bidens. That is, go away. Go away. I mean, just look at this. Look at Biden's net favorable rating. In January of 2025, it was minus 22 points. Has it gone any better? No, not really. He's still way underwater here at minus 19 points. He's 28 points underwater with independents. Joe Biden ended his term as president, is quite unpopular, and he remains quite unpopular. He is an anchor to the Democratic Party and potentially their fortunes in the 2026 midterm elections.
How does that compare to other former Democratic presidents?
Okay, let's go back through the history books. I went back through the spreadsheets, right? This is essentially what we're looking at. Former Democratic presidents' net favorability at this point post-presidency. The lowest by far is Joe Biden, 19 points underwater. Barack Obama was a rock star, 31 points above water. How about Bill Clinton? Wasn't so popular after office, but even then he was just 3 points underwater, basically breaking even. And then Jimmy Carter was 22 points above water. Joe Biden, the most unpopular former Dem president at this point post-presidency of any Democrat that I could find going through the spreadsheets over the last 50 years.
How's Dr. Jill Biden doing?
Okay, so Joe Biden, obviously not Joe Biden, though they are married. Okay, just look at this. Was she a popular first lady? Dem first lady's net favorability at the end of their final term, she was just 2 points above water. Obviously not as bad as Joe Biden is, but Michelle Obama was 43 points above water. Hillary Clinton was 13 points above water. Again, you're just looking at this and you're seeing that Joe Biden was historically unpopular for a Democratic first lady compared to the two other Democratic first ladies you see on the screen, which again matches what we see with Joe Biden's unpopularity.
Part of this might just be this recent shift sort of against the idea of establishment. What are we seeing in the prediction markets that might indicate there are some issues there?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the legacies of Joe Biden and sticking on for as long as he did is distrust of the Democratic establishment. And that is why, just take a look here. Chance that 4+ House Democrats, in fact, lose their primary in 2026. Look at this, 68%. I look back at every single cycle that I could find that was not a post-census redistricting cycle. And the highest I could find in terms of Democrats losing, get this, was only 3. So this would actually beat it. Democratic angst against the establishment and an all-time high, I think in large part driven by the fact that Joe Biden is so unpopular, and therefore you have just this great distrust of the Dem establishment.
All right, Harry Enten, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh my, those aren't good numbers at all. By the way, how unpopular do you have to be 11 points less popular than Hillary Clinton after 8 years of the Clintons? Woof. That's bad. And Harry Enten pointing out a number that you don't hear a lot. Democrats might actually lose House seats, that the betting markets are actually saying there's almost a 70% chance Democrats lose House seats this year. Remember, we're told historically, and conventional wisdom is, the party in total control of Congress will lose. Will lose, and the party out of power will win. And historically, that has been true, save I think like 3 times. And yet, you just heard the stats there. 68% of the betting markets now put that, or I should say, they put it at a 68% chance that Democrats will lose at least 4 House seats. Lose House seats. Now, again, I am not, as I just said, it's not as though the Republicans are lighting the world on fire. It's got their base pretty frustrated right now. And the risk for Republicans is that their people don't turn out. While Democrats, they're not particularly happy about their own. Democrats aren't particularly happy about anything. In fact, this story from the New York Post, fewer than 1 in 5 Democrats even feel proud to be an American at all ahead of our 250th birthday. This week marks 1 month from now. We'll be celebrating our 250th anniversary. The reflecting pool is filled. They just turned on the water yesterday. Looks beautiful, actually reflecting the monuments already. 2 out of 3 Republicans feel proud to be an American. This is the latest data. Those surveyed were asked what term best described how they felt when they thought about the United States marking its semiquintennial. Is that right? Aaron, how do you say that? Is that semiquincentennial? Semiquincentennial? I've never heard that term before. 250th.
I have no idea.
Semiquincentennial. Hello. All right. Democrats had nothing good to say in this survey. Just 18% of self-described Democrats said they felt proud. Only 17% felt grateful. That tracks. I mean, gratitude is something we Christians are asked regularly, biblically, to practice. Be grateful, have gratitude. Does it surprise you that only 17% of self-identified Democrats are capable of that? A bigger number of Democrats said they felt conflicted about America. 15% said they were disappointed in America. 6% said frustrated, and nearly a quarter said they had no strong feelings. That contrasted greatly with self-described Republican voters, of whom 68% said they felt proud and 19% said they felt grateful. Just 1% of Republicans felt disappointed about America. 1% felt frustrated. 9% had no strong feelings. Democrats were also less than half as likely as their Republican counterparts to express enthusiasm in attending an event related to America's 250th anniversary. Just 11% of Democrats said they were very likely to personally participate in events and activities related to the anniversary, while less than a quarter said they were somewhat likely to participate in celebrations. That's astounding. Not only do they not feel grateful, not only do they not feel pride, they may not even acknowledge the nation's 250th birthday, a good number of them. Fewer than 1 in 5 Democrats feel proud to be an American. That speaks for itself, doesn't it? Meanwhile, the Federalist reporting on the Southern Poverty Law Center bankrolling racist social media posts while falsely accusing conservatives of hate. You've heard a little about this. A pretty in-depth write-up from the Federalist. I encourage you to read it all. The Southern Poverty Law Center worked to encourage corporations and big tech to blacklist and isolate conservatives by falsely accusing them of hate or racism. Yet all the while, the Southern Poverty Law Center was allegedly paying a source to make racist online posts under its direction. That's a newly unsealed federal indictment. You know, the great Rush Limbaugh always said the Southern Poverty Law Center might be the biggest hate group in the country. And all these years later, as he often was, Rush was right. A Colorado school district is facing federal penalties for Title IX violations, denied having 61 biological males participating in girls' competitive sports. Jefferson County Public Schools in Littleton, Colorado, swung back after the Department of Education reviewed its threat to pull federal funding unless the district agrees to rescind its gender identity policies. The district said it was shocked and disappointed by the warning, and they dispute the, quote, erroneous findings by the department that male athletes may occupy up to 61 roster positions on girls' sports teams. Their statement this week said, to be clear, the data did not show any male student occupied a girls' athletics competition role. Well, somebody then has got it really wrong, because I don't know how you get 61 biological males in one school district, how you get that number that high and that incorrect. If they're claiming there's none, then so be it. It shouldn't be hard to prove, should it? Jefferson County Public Schools in Colorado. You're on notice. One of the more disgusting stories of the week from the post-millennial, YouTubers kill their preborn baby after Down syndrome diagnosis. YouTuber and filmmaker Jesse Ridgway revealed this week that he and his wife, Ashley, ended a pregnancy, killing an unborn baby after learning their child hadn't been diagnosed with Down syndrome. In a statement posted to X, Ridgway said the couple received the diagnosis during the pregnancy and spent time considering how to move forward. He said the decision was difficult and had a major impact on both of them, but finally, she would end up getting an abortion. The choice was not made lightly, Ridgway wrote. Said he was originally hopeful after learning of the diagnosis, but later became concerned as he researched the condition and its potential medical complications. Thankfully, we had a choice, said Ridgway. From the New York Times, this equally disturbing on a different front. Scientists precisely edit human embryo genes. Scientists at Columbia University have edited the DNA of early human embryos with unprecedented accuracy and achievement that could open the way to babies engineered. I don't know about you folks. This is the kind of cultural stuff that just it's difficult to I don't know. I'm on my knees in prayer over things like this. The darkness of it is too much to bear. The Lord knows, God knows exactly what's in the human heart, and it's nothing good. And God is on the throne, and he knew before any of us ever read or heard stories like that this day was coming. So I trust that he knows in all these things, no matter how disgusting, no matter how alarming this train rolling down the tracks may be, he knows. But it's a very, very difficult thing for those of us who don't have the foresight and don't have the knowledge of what could come of this. It looks pretty dark. And is it really any wonder why Democrats are out of power and why it looks like they may well lose? That's what drives them. That kind of darkness motivates them. That's what animates and excites the Democrat Party, not the founding of the country, not freedoms. That garbage. And then this from the Wall Street Journal: like two cats circling, Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom weigh a 2028 showdown. Wouldn't that be just delightful to top it all off? That we get to 2028 and it's those two circling the political drain, squaring off to be the nominees. California Governor Gavin Newsom, former Vice President Kamala Harris have much in common. Fellow Bay Area Democrats who insist they're friends but don't always act like it. They drew broad notice in 2023's San Francisco election, leading an up-and-coming generation of California politicians. Newsom, 58, Harris, 61, have shared mentors, staffers, donors, friends, and consultants for more than 2 decades. They have exchanged endorsements and snubs, each wary of the other, according to people close to them. They've been kind of like two cats circling each other in the alley for years, publicly speaking. We can hope. We can hope.